If you're making over $100,000 a year and you're blindly maxing out your 401k every single month, I have a brutal truth for you. You might be digging yourself a $500,000 tax trap. Now, before you roast me in the comments, let me be clear. I'm not saying the 401k is a scam, and I'm definitely not telling you to stop saving. But Wall Street and the IRS are hiding a few very dark secrets about how the 401k system actually works. Today's video is going to be the most hardcore, mind-shifting financial breakdown you watch all year. Over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to reveal: Number 1. Why the A student who saves $4 million in their 401k often faces a catastrophic bankruptcy-level tax bomb in retirement. Number 2. How recent regulatory changes are quietly locking your retirement money into a black hole called SITs, where you can't even access your own cash. Number 3. Why I prioritize a hidden, completely ignored account way above my 401k. And finally, I'm going to pull back the curtain and give you my exact 5-step wealth ladder. I'll show you how to structure your money so that in retirement you can pull out $120,000 a year and legally pay 0% in taxes. If you don't want to hand over half of your life savings to Uncle Sam at age 65, and if you actually want the FU money to quit your job on your terms, grab a pen and paper, let's dive in. We've all heard the classic Wall Street advice, right? Put your money in a pre-tax 401k now, get the tax deduction today, and when you retire, you'll be in a lower tax bracket. You'll pay less tax later. Sounds perfect on paper. But for disciplined savers, the people doing everything right, this is a complete lie. Let's run the math. Let's say you're highly disciplined. You work hard your whole career and you hit retirement with $4 million sitting in your 401k. You think you've won the game, right? Time to buy the RV and travel the world? Wrong. That $4 million isn't all yours. The IRS is a silent partner in that account, and they hold a massive equity stake in your life savings. When you hit age 73 or 75, the IRS triggers their ultimate weapon, RMDs, or required minimum distributions. They essentially tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey buddy, we've waited long enough. You have to start pulling this money out and paying taxes on it right now, whether you actually need the money or not." On a $4 million balance, your forced withdrawal in year 1 is roughly $146,000. Remember, you do not have a choice. Now, you take that $146,000 and you add it to the $50,000 or so you and your spouse are getting from Social Security. Suddenly, your total income is touching $200,000 in retirement. So, what happens next? Domino number 1. Up to 85% of your Social Security benefits instantly become taxable. Domino number 2. This forced income shoves you straight into the 24% or even 32% tax bracket. That's right, your tax rate in retirement is suddenly higher than it was when you were working. Domino number 3. Because your income spiked, you trigger RMIA, the Medicare Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. Your Medicare Part B and Part D premiums just skyrocketed by thousands of dollars a year. You spent your entire life diligently saving, but over a 25-year retirement, just because of this forced withdrawal system, you could end up paying an extra $1 to $15 million in unnecessary taxes and surcharges. This is why blindly padding a traditional 401k is basically just writing a massive blank check to your future self's tax bill. If the tax time bomb wasn't scary enough, let's talk about the two invisible monsters quietly eating your principal right now. Monster number 1 is what I call the tipping point. A lot of people think their 401k is free. It's not. Every fund you invest in has an expense ratio. If you work for a small or mid-sized company, your all-in 401k fees could easily be 1% to 1.5%. Now, 1% doesn't sound like a lot, right? Let me show you the math. Over a 30-year compounding period, a 1.5% fee will cannibalize almost 30% of your final portfolio balance. The math reveals a shocking reality. If you just opened a standard, regular taxable brokerage account and bought ultra-low-cost ETFs like VOO or VTI charging 0.03%, as long as your 401k fees are above roughly 0.9% to 1.5% after 30 years, that taxable account will actually leave you with more money in your pocket after taxes than your 401k. Let that sink in. The outrageous fees completely wiped out the entire tax advantage of the 401k. And then there's monster number 2. This is a recent regulatory nightmare called the CIT black hole, collective investment trusts. According to a recent Bloomberg investigation, roughly 40% of all 401k assets, around $7 trillion, have been quietly moved into CITs. A decade ago, this was only 12%. Why the massive shift? Because Wall Street lobbied to change the rules. Recent executive orders essentially opened Pandora's box, allowing plan administrators to default your money into private equity, private credit, and even digital assets. Here's the catch. CITs are not heavily regulated by the SEC like your mutual funds are. They don't have to report daily valuations. What does that mean for you? It means if you have an emergency, say you need surgery or a new roof, and you go to pull your money out, your provider might say, "Sorry, your money is locked up in a private credit fund with a 36-month lockup period." Your 401k is transforming into a completely opaque black box where you might not even be able to access your own cash when you need it. Okay, take a breath. I know this sounds incredibly bleak, but don't panic, because right now is where we flip the script. We are taking the power back. The reason most people are trapped by their 401k is because they have absolutely no idea when they can stop funding it. We've been brainwashed to believe we have to keep contributing until we're 65. In the world of compound interest, there are three major milestones. The first two are just vanity metrics. My portfolio grew more than I contributed this year, or I hit my first million. But the milestone that actually buys your freedom is milestone 3. Let me tell you about a client of mine, Sarah. She's 52, and her plan was to max out her 401k every year until 65. I sat down with her and pulled up a specific calculator. Instead of asking how much should you save, we reverse engineered her life. How much do you actually want to spend in retirement? Let's say she wants $50,000 a year in today's purchasing power, factoring in inflation, and a conservative 5% withdrawal rate. She needs a portfolio of about $1.47 million at age 65. Here is where the magic happens. Based on her current balance and a realistic 7% growth rate, the math showed that she didn't need to keep saving until 65. She could completely stop saving for retirement at age 57. She shaved 8 years off her timeline. That meant the $320,000 she was going to blindly dump into her 401k over those 8 years could now be used to travel, help her kids buy a house, or start a business. This is the concept of coast fire. Once your principal, left alone to compound, is guaranteed to hit your target by retirement age, the 401k is no longer a requirement. It becomes optional. So if you hit your coast fire number, or you just refuse to blindly throw your money into a broken traditional 401k, where should your next dollar actually go? The wealthy never put all their eggs in one tax basket. Instead, they use the 3-bucket strategy to take back absolute control over their taxes. 1. The red bucket. Pre-tax, traditional 401k CRRA. When you pull money out, it's taxed as ordinary income. You only use this bucket to fill up your lowest tax brackets. 2. The green bucket, tax-free Roth accounts. When you pull money out, it is 100% tax-free. The IRS literally doesn't even see this income, so it won't trigger Medicare surcharges or tax your Social Security. 3. The blue bucket, taxable brokerage. This is your freedom bucket. No age restrictions, no early withdrawal penalties. And the growth is taxed at long-term capital gains rates, which can be as low as 15% or even 0%. By having money in all 3 buckets, you dictate exactly how much tax you pay. For example, a married couple in 2026 could strategically pull $30,000 from their red bucket, wiped out by the standard deduction, $96,000 in capital gains from their blue bucket, hitting the 0% capital gains bracket, and anything else from their green Roth bucket. That is over $126,000 of income, legally with a 0% tax bill. Structure is vastly more important than your balance. To build these 3 buckets, you need an exact order of operations. This is my 5-step wealth ladder. Take a screenshot of this right now. Step 1. Get the 401k employer match. Even if your 401k has terrible fees, an employer match is a guaranteed 50% to 100% return on your money. Take the free money. But the second you hit that match limit, stop. Step 2. Max out your HSA health savings account. People think this is just a debit card for copays. You are dead wrong. The HSA is the ultimate cheat code in the U.S. tax system. It is the only account with a triple tax advantage. It's tax-deductible going in, it grows tax-free, and it comes out tax-free for medical expenses. The ultimate wealthy hack? Pay your medical bills out of pocket today. Keep the receipts in a Google Drive. Let your HSA compound in the stock market for 20 years. Then, when you're 60, reimburse yourself for those 20-year-old receipts, tax-free. And after age 65, it acts exactly like a traditional IRA anyway. Step 3, the Roth IRA, or backdoor Roth. This is where you escape the crappy funds and high fees of your 401k. You have total control to buy low-cost index funds like the S&P 500. And all that growth? The government can never touch it. Step 4, the taxable brokerage account. If you want to retire before age 59 and a half, this is your bridge account. There are no contribution limits and zero early withdrawal penalties. This account is what gives you true FU money to walk away from a toxic job whenever you want. Step 5, reevaluate the 401k Roth conversions. Only after you've maxed out steps 1 through 4. If you still have extra cash and you are in a massive tax bracket today, then you go back and put more into the traditional 401k. Or, if you're in those low-income gap years between early retirement and age 73, you start doing Roth conversions, shifting money from the red bucket to the green bucket at a steep discount. Listen to me. The financial industry pushes the 401k so hard because your AUM, assets under management, is how they make their billions. The more you blindly deposit, the more fees they collect. But I need you to understand this. The whole point of building wealth isn't just to watch a number on a screen hit 8 figures right before you die. The true purpose of wealth is optionality. It's the freedom to decide when you work and when you don't. It's the ability to write a check to help your family without having to ask the IRS for permission or doing complex math to figure out your penalties. It is time to turn off the autopilot. Tonight, after work, I want you to log into your 401k portal. Look up your expense ratios. Check if your money got secretly moved into a CIT. Then, use that free calculator in my description to figure out your exact Coastfire number. If this video opened your eyes today, or if it just saved you hundreds of thousands of dollars in future taxes, do me a huge favor and smash the like button. It is the best way to tell the YouTube algorithm that this information actually matters. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and please send this video to that one friend or coworker who won't stop bragging about maxing out their 401k. Taking control of your taxes is how you take control of your freedom. I'll see you in the next video.